All right, you want to start us off on our new podcast season this year?
All right, so we are podcast season 4. How did we get to season 4 already?
We've been doing this for 4 years now. Isn't that crazy?
Did we? Wow, yeah, that's nuts. Or maybe like 3.5, but I think one of them was only a short season or something. I don't know, but we're gonna start season 4, episode 1. We are gonna focus more on our podcast this year. And we are going to try to film them, not in our car.
No ASMR?
Oh, I know. People did enjoy them.
They did.
Actually, I don't think anyone's ever said that.
No, I don't think so either.
So we are going to do our first podcast of the year, our 2024 wrap. We're going to wrap up our entire 2024 play experience. Our play experience. Thank you for checking out the Impulsive Duo podcast. Remember, our content is for 18 and over. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So we decided, so in 2023, we didn't really play that much. And we had kind of a stressful year, like business-wise, and we just weren't super active as far as in the lifestyle. And I kind of have a hard time making connections and putting myself out there, and I'm really awkward. And so we said in 2024, we were like, I wanted to put myself out there, make connections,
And it was also my own way, because you even had looked at me in 2023 of do you even really want to be in this lifestyle? Because I never really was hey, what are we doing? Because I didn't ever really want to push you, but I would, if we had a goal, it gave me the ability to be hey, what are we doing?
Yeah, so we set a 12 and 12 goal. Could we play with or have 12 different experiences in 12 months in 2024? Mm-hmm. And so we just put it our 12 and 12 challenge. So sorry if you can't really see this super well. We zoom in a little bit. Sorry, I just realized we could actually zoom the camera in a little bit. Can you edit out the part you just got up?
This is oh, is this for YouTube? I thought this was a podcast.
It is, but the video plays.
Oh. No, it doesn't zoom in anymore.
Oh, because it's faced this way. Oh. Anyways, can you just edit all that out? Or I guess I'll edit out. Okay, so we're going to do our 2024 wrap. So sorry if you can't see this super well. At the end of the podcast, I will include the slides. Or actually, no, I'll cut them in. I'll cut the slides in. I have them all saved. I'll cut the slides in. But we're going to do our 2024 lifestyle wrap. So, did we complete our 12 and 12 challenge? Yes.
Did you think we would actually do it?
No, I really didn't.
How many times did you...
I got a little... I think even in by May, I was I don't know. This summer, I was I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Because we didn't really play much at all in the summer.
I think after our last experience with a unicorn, and summer was coming, and we were going to be in Europe. Yeah. And I was and
I hurt my foot. Yep. So I hurt my foot in the beginning of this, or after summer started. So we weren't really doing much then. We knew we were going to be in Europe for a month with, my daughter was with us, so it wasn't a lifestyle trip by any means. Right. And so we just weren't really making much of an effort that summer. We had our own event, but we were so busy working. Right. I
didn't think we were going to make it. After summer, I thought in the beginning of the year, the way that the year started, I thought for sure we would.
Oh, we started strong.
But we made it happen.
Yeah. So we did complete our challenge, yes. In January, we played with 2 people, and they were back to back.
Back to back.
And then February was 0. Mm-hmm. We just nothing was going on in February, and then March 2. So it was we just made up for it. April 0 again. May was 1.
And that's where we were 5 and 5 at that point.
Yeah, so we're we could do this. Yep. And then June, July, and August, 0. All 3 months. And so we were oh yeah, we're gonna this isn't gonna be good. No. And we just weren't really putting much of an effort.
No, we weren't. And
our focus was so much of Europe, saving money for the trip also, and so we weren't really going out a ton before we went. Because we were gone for 23 days, and so it just wasn't really our focus, that summer. No. So then we got back, and in August, we got back beginning of August, and in August we didn't have any. And then September we made up for lost time with 3.
That's what I thought we would get it back. That's what I was
it was back to back also, but that...
It was even August, or what was it? September and October were almost all back to back to back to back.
I feel that's what happens with us is we will go spurts. We'll go months without playing and just kind of being man, whatever. And then all of a sudden we'll kind of be in the mood. or like all of a sudden we'll be being hit up by a bunch of people, or I'll get on apps and start talking to people, and it's just like, and it just like happened. So September was 3, October was 2.
I'm sorry, it's just funny. Like in those 2 months, because those 5 were like really close too.
They were.
Anyhow,
Then you're on a high. Then you're on this like, hell yeah, like people
you're feeling
love
attractive,
oh, yeah.
and you're feeling good.
And then you like go months without it, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
womp womp. And then the holidays come, and you get pasty and fat. November was 1. November we actually played with 2 people, but one of them was a repeat.
Yeah.
From May.
Yeah.
May was repeated.
Yeah.
And November was actually 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Two unicorns at the same time.
2 unicorns at the same time.
Eric got to one of his fantasies, 3 girls at the same time.
Yeah. That was a lot.
You liked it.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. And then
December was 1, which was a little unexpected, to be honest. I didn't know after November if we would get there. We thought maybe on our Seattle trip, but we had gone with some friends, but they knew if you repeated somebody, we also said it couldn't count. So like if the friends that we traveled with, we would have played with them again, it wouldn't have counted because we had played with them this year. Right. So we were like new experiences. But then we also know that going to clubs, hosting our own events, things like that, we never really end up playing because it's just awkward and we're end up like working. And so
I think we would have been more. I think we would have been more assertive if we hadn't.
Yeah, but we played with them at the beginning of December, and that was 12, and we were like, we did it. So we felt no pressure to play at the club in Seattle or like the rest of the holidays.
It was weird because it was like this. I didn't realize how much kind of pressure it put on you all of a sudden until we did it, and then it was like, and I was like, wait, this was supposed to be fun. How did this turn into pressure?
Yeah, and now the pressure's gone, and I'm like, okay, like now I have no expectations for 2025.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, so we had 12 different experiences. 1 we did repeat during the year, like I had said. We played with the same person in May and November, but also played with a new person in November. And then we had 2 repeats from 2023, but they counted because they were new for 2024. So we counted them as we had 2 repeats.
I have to always think of who they are. I know one of them was a couple. I know we had one in March that was a couple.
2. We played in January. We played with them also in December.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then in March.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll explain that to you.
Ta-da!
Okay. So couples versus unicorns. We played with 4 unicorns and 8 couples.
I like the pie chart.
Do you like my unicorn horn?
I like the unicorn horn on
Isn't she cute?
She's very cute.
Yeah, so we played with 4 unicorns, which, I mean, unicorns are hard to find. So the odds, and one of the unicorns we played with twice. So unicorns are kind of hard to find.
And one of them we could have played with that we didn't. One we could have played with, remember? But we didn't, and then there was family things, and then she just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if we would have made more effort for a few.
More effort for a few.
Yeah,
they are hard to find.
Well, yeah, and like it's hard to like get your schedules to line up. Yeah, we were invited. A girl did invite us over one night, and we had like already gotten into bed, and we were like, oh,
we weren't feeling attractive either.
No, and we were like, oh, well, whatever. I was that night. I was wearing that cute little neon outfit.
Oh, that's right, you were.
We just like we were tired. It was like tired or something. Yeah, we're like, it'll fine. And then she had like lost a family member and then kind of fell off the face of the earth. So we blew our opportunity. So that's why unicorns are hard to track down. They've got lives. They're dating other people. They're dating men. They're dating women. They're dating other couples. Like they're busy. They have lives. And so if they're there and they're willing to play, you gotta take
advantage of it because you might not get to take advantage of it ever again.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was that. So
where did we meet them at?
Where did we meet all these people? So we have this is people always ask us, where do you meet people? What's the best place? What's the best app? This is a prime example of nowhere. I can't tell you there's one single place to meet people. You should be on all the apps. You should be, even if you don't want to be public on social media, have like a private lifestyle account, be in groups, go to events, there is no one place that is the best, and this is a prime example of why. So we met one on Unicorn Landing. We met one on SDC. It was a couple. We met 2 at local events here in town. They weren't our events, but they were just like local lifestyle events. We met 2 at events we hosted. One of them here, one of them in Portland, actually a year ago.
Yeah.
But we never played that year.
No, we never played that year. And that was the pinnacle. That was the one experience out of all experiences I wanted you to have, because I knew you wanted that experience so bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I wanted it too. But that was for you.
Well,
that was like this whole full circle
That was
journey.
a full circle journey. I met this girl. If anyone has followed, I think we did a whole podcast on our leg licking girl. And how this girl was literally licking my leg. And I was like, she was just being nice. And Eric's like, girls don't just lick your leg because they want to be nice, Candice. They want to lick your vagina. And I'm like, oh, no. Anyway, she was married. So we actually ended up going out to dinner with her and her husband.
And they were both super cool.
We all totally hit it off. And then we were going to play the following 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, we were supposed to play.
And I messaged her. I was like, hey, we still on for this weekend? She was like, yeah, I was going to message you. She's like, we're getting divorced. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And it wasn't lifestyle related either.
No, they've been together since high school. Lots of other issues. I think they had been in their lifestyle kind of on and off. Never any lifestyle issues, she said, but they had a lot of other issues. And they were like last ditch effort trying to make it work that was a couple months, but it didn't. So whatever. So of course her and I kind of became friends. We went out a couple times and she was like, well, I'll be a unicorn. I was like, oh, I wasn't going to put that pressure on her or ask. It was her idea. Okay. And we just didn't really make it happen for a couple months.
Yeah. It was hard to nail it down.
She was busy. I mean, she was going through a
divorce.
Yeah. So we finally did end up playing as a unicorn instead of.
That was hot.
As a couple. And it was a really hot night.
It was really hot night.
So anyways, this is a prime example of, where was I at? Oh, well, I was at local events, sorry. One was a past hookup from years before that we'd known for a couple years. One was from TikTok. So somebody that did find us on TikTok, got into our lives, realized we lived in the area. We had talked for a while. So that was that one. One on 3 Fun, one on Hinge, which is not a lifestyle app, but Eric had downloaded a couple of them. Just to
well, we had the whole little fantasy.
I was looking for a very specific fantasy to fulfill, and I'm not aggressive enough to make it happen. I really wanted a submissive little unicorn that I could tell what to do to my husband.
That's kind of hot.
I know.
We
still haven't done it.
I know we still haven't done it yet.
I know. So that's still out there. But anyway, so I told Eric, because I run most of our lifestyle apps, or all of our lifestyle apps. But I told Eric to get on some just to try to find a girl, because I really wanted to fulfill his fantasy. So he actually met this girl on Hinge, and she was not submissive like that. She was super cool. And
cool. And
we connected on a business level, and she's super rad.
Just on a personal level. And she was actually December. Remember, we actually met up with her and we were driving home.
Oh my God, funniest story. So we did not expect to play.
This was December.
This was just December. Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Month ago,
roughly.
Yeah, we finally made time. We talked to this girl for a little while, but again, life. So we finally were like, we need to go to dinner. Well, it was never really talked about playing. And we're like, she kind of has a business that she does and a podcast and some different things. And we're like, even just cool. We all hit it off. She's like, I just want to pick your brain, business wise. Yeah. I was like, I want to pick yours. She's going to be on, a podcast that I'm going to do. She wanted us to be on hers. We just started anyway, so we're like, we just need to meet up. So finally I was like, do you want to go to dinner? And so we went up this cute little wine bar, whatever, had dinner, and just we had a great night. We shut the place down. Yeah. They pretty much going to kick us out. We just all totally hit it off. Well, we left, and it was kind of late, but not it was what, 11 10?
10:30-ish.
Yeah, so it wasn't whatever. And we said bye, and it was, playing was never even talked about, nothing. But she had made a few comments, had people she had played with before, or whatever, and so we knew she had experience being a unicorn, and she was real. She's also one of those girls that's she was awkward about it, and she was like, "Oh, you want to fuck? Okay."
Yeah,
that was just her personality. And so we were driving home, and Eric was like, "Would you fuck her?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, would you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, I don't even remember.
We don't
you
have
were messing. Oh, and then
no kids,
and then the kids
nothing.
ended up not.
Yeah.
The one kid that was supposed to be home ended up staying at a sleepover, and I was like, our house is empty.
It's the one night we have no kids.
So I text her, and I was like, what did I say?
You were like, hey, are you down for being a little wild and crazy?
No, I was just so our house is empty, or and something. And she was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I thought we hit it off and you guys would ask, but like, anyways, she ended up coming over and we did have a lot of fun. We played till like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, that just proves that you need to take your shoot your shot.
Yep.
So that was on Hinge. One was through a mutual friend, that we had connected us, and she lived in Tennessee,
right?
And we were going out there, and she was like, "Oh, you should meet up with my friend. She's super cute. You guys would like her." And she like gave us our phone number, and she was even like, "Oh yeah, I want to film a little content or whatever." And
she was actually really cool too.
We spent the whole weekend with her and had a blast. And then one of them was on FetLife, which we don't really use FetLife, but somebody reached out to us, and we just ended up, Okay.
Now we get to the good part.
Sit like this.
It's the enjoyable experience.
Were these enjoyable experiences? So we'll do Eric's first. So for Eric, 9, yes. We went through a phase where Eric was having like back-to-back really good experiences with like these fucking hot-ass girls. And he's over there like going to town. The girls, making the girls like come, like squirt. Like you're just like, and I'm just like, fuck you.
And that's, and
I'm over here like mediocre sex. Watching my husband with his new testosterone dick turned on by these super hot girls, just like going to town, and I'm like,
no, that's when you started even doing hot stuff. Like you would grab my hips and like force me harder, even stuff, and I'm just like, this is so hot.
Yeah, but and it weren't terrible experiences, and it was fine. They were just like, meh,
but also,
meh. I'd rather play with the girls than my husband.
Ooh.
Sorry.
No, but and that was the thing. Like even too, like I do remember like even looking over a couple of times and just being like, man, like I wish. As weird as this might sound, like, and I don't think I've ever thought I would say this, but like looking at you, I was like, man, I wish that guy would like fuck my wife, like fuck my wife. Like I don't know how many people logically think this, but like I felt bad because I'm like, you're just kind of over there, like
a lot of lifestyle people think that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man,
well, and it's just like mediocre, and
yeah.
then you're like, oh, no wonder these girls want to be in lifestyle, and like. Not greatest sizes, and it was just whatever. It was fine, and nothing was terrible. But Eric, anyways, 9 were yes. Yeah. 2 were just okay for Eric. He was kind of like, it was fine, but he,
yeah, I just wasn't thrilled.
He wasn't like super into it.
No.
Do you know what the 2 I'm talking about?
I know one of them was in January.
Yeah, and then the other one was.
They traveled into town?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
so we're on the same page there. Yeah. Yeah. And it was just kind of like, I'm into it, I'm doing it, but like...
Because even one of them, I'm the one that instigated even.
Well, just to get it over.
Well, even both of them, because remember the one we were sitting there and I was like, so are we going to do this or what? And then we ended up in the hot tub and yeah.
And then one was no for Eric.
Yeah. That's the first time I lied about a headache.
Yeah, he fakes a headache. And I was like very concerned because Eric, like in the 4 years that I've known Eric, he's had like 2 headaches.
I've never complained about a headache or anything. And I wasn't trying to like complain. I was just like, you'd ask me what's wrong. I'd be like, oh, I got a headache.
He's kind of got a headache. And I was like, what, are you okay? And I was like, finding him Advil.
Did you drink water?
I'm like getting water. I was like, do you need caffeine? Did I get you a Red Bull? Like, what's going, like, you never have headaches. And I was like all concerned. And come to find out he was faking it. Because he couldn't keep it all. He just wasn't into it. And I wasn't necessarily into it either, but I'm a little bit, I can fake it a little better than Eric can. And as a girl, I think it's also, I could just be like, whatever. You know what I mean?
As a girl,
I can fake it.
That's the thing though, is as a girl, you don't, like a guy has to be into it. If you're not into it, it goes soft.
Yeah.
And so as a girl though, you don't have to worry about anything like soft like that. So you can just be like, oh yeah. And guys don't know half the guys don't know any different.
Anyways, so yeah. So 1 was a no for Eric. Are you a female 18 and over interested in the lifestyle? Make sure you check out Unicorn Landing at unicornlanding.com or download the app in your favorite app store today. So for me, moving on to me, just 6 were like, yeah, that was fucking hot.
Now you have 4 that were just okay. So I know that 2 of your just okays were the same as my just okays.
No, that was my no. One of your just okays is my no.
The hot tub?
No.
Oh yeah,
January.
no. Oh yeah, no. Okay, so those are two no. So I know one of your just okays. What were the other three just okays?
Well, I told you that I had those two like back to back that were just like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I can't say names
No,
on
I know
here.
you
I'll
can't.
have to tell you.
No, I know.
But 6 were like, fuck yeah, that was hot. And even some of the just okays I would do again.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like I ended the night with like,
hey, Tiger, way to go.
Basically, I think it was also just an okay because I was watching you, and I wasn't mad. That don't take it like people think I was like jealous about it. It was more of like, I want to get fucked like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like just having fun and like, I don't know.
Just smacking of skins. And
and like the fingering and the like just going at it. And I'm just a little bit like.
And then you're over there just gently being caressed.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was my enjoyment.
No, that's why that last experience or the one experience we had in October, and I'm like, that's not me. And I look over and you're just having fun. I'm like, fuck yeah, you deserve it.
You're like, you deserve that.
I was like, dude, you deserve this, yeah.
Well, because I think, anyways. Can't say much.
I know. You have to watch what you say because I know some people
That's what our friends listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to our podcast and you were played last year, you were great.
Yeah.
It wasn't you.
No.
I promise.
Did we have the big O?
Did we have the big O? Did we get off during this playtime? Now, I'm very hard to get off. So for me, that's not super weird if I don't get off, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't ruin my night. It's not my goal of the night. My husband knows how to get me off perfectly fine. He can do that later when we get home if I really want to. Like for me, I'm not like unsatisfied if I didn't. It just if I had fun. So that doesn't play into necessarily my like bad experiences.
You're like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but as your husband, someone knows you, like we had that one experience in January where like when it's a bad like experience, like it's almost like now like
I don't even want to play after. I'm like, we just go to bed.
But if it's a good experience and you didn't get off,
I want to play.
You're afterwards. We get home. You're like, get your clothes off. You get in here, like it's on.
Yeah, but if it's kind of an experience, I'm like, whatever. I'm just like not even sexually in the mood.
Yeah, you're like I'm burnt out now. I'm over it.
Yeah. So Eric had 11. Obviously, he always gets off in the situation. And some were with me, some were with other people. I forgot to kind of figure that out.
Oh yeah. Because it was for the first while, like the first couple, I finished actually with
was
you.
We were still finishing, and then we kind of, I got a kink in my head where I was like, I want you to come in her, and then we just kind of kept doing that because I like it.
Yeah.
And with consent of the other person,
Yes.
conversations, all of
Yes.
that. And then Eric won no because he faked a headache. And then for me, I did 5 yes. And 7, 5 and 7, yes.
Yeah.
5 yes, 7 no. So way less. But
I'm trying to
again,
think of when you had the 5.
it doesn't mean that it was a bad experience. If even I actually got off one of the times that was just like an okay-ish experience, but I got off. So my orgasm doesn't constitute the actual experience.
You're also one of those, you're different than me with your orgasms where you can get off by just kind of like watching and being just turned on by the environment and the sounds and all that.
If I touch myself, like I can always get myself off.
Right.
Like if someone's like, I touch myself while I'm having sex,
right.
like, yeah. Or I grab a toy, like I can get myself off, or you can get me off, help, whatever. But I can always like touch it. But there's been times where I'm just like, I don't even fucking gonna bother.
I know, I'm not doing this.
I'm over it. Okay. So where did we play with all these people? So 5 was in a hotel or Airbnb, which is pretty common. Like if we travel or getting a hotel, a couple, we just got a hotel here in town. Some were traveling.
And my favorite almost has been is still I think the Airbnb hotel.
Yeah, because there's less stress. It's less awkward. Someone's not in your space. You're not in theirs. There's not laundry in the corner. You're not awkward about kids coming home. Like all sorts of things.
And it's even when it's somebody else's house and not yours, like you're in their bedroom and you're going at it and you're just kind of like looking around like, oh, that's a cool picture over there.
Yeah, you're just like in their space. You feel a little bit like, it does feel even a little bit weird in someone else's space. And so hotel, it's just easier. It's mutual ground.
Yeah.
One was at a club or event, so we finally played at our first club with like strangers we had just met that night, who we still talk to. But only one was actually at a club.
At a club.
Yeah. 3 was in their bed. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 was in their bed.
Yep. Yeah. Because one, it was their bed, but it was, yeah. And then 3 were in our bed, which typically we always say we don't bring people to our house.
Right.
So that sounds that we're contradicting ourselves. But two of the people we'd known for a little while. One we'd played with a couple times, like the past couple of years. We'd known them quite a while. The kids were not home. We felt
no kids that were home at.
Oh no, we would never have if so many kids were home. One was more during the daytime because we had taken some sexy photos and stuff too, and then played. No kids, yeah. And then
that wild hair of
the wild hair with the unicorn. Like, hey, just want to come over like late at night. Kids ended up not being here, and it just felt comfortable, and we felt like it was okay.
They passed the vibe.
They passed the vibe check.
Yes.
So that is where we play, but typically, yes, hotel or Airbnb are the best.
Yeah.
So would we play with these people again?
Would we? 9 is yes.
9 is hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's do it. 2024.
Exactly.
2035, I mean.
2025.
3 is no thank you.
Thank you, but no thank you.
3
Yeah, 3. I can think of 3. The 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a definitely no.
No for all. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's yeah, no. It was just 2 of them were like absolutely fuck knows, but one of them was just like weird, you know.
Yeah.
And it was like
it got weird later, and it was just the vibe was there one time, but it just got weird. So anyway, yes, 3 are a no. So our odds are pretty good.
Yeah,
I think overall.
I know.
We had good playing experiences. The end.
I wonder if somebody did this with us or did theirs.
Oh God, I don't want to know.
When we played with them, I'd be like, so how did we?
Well, we made this video and we put it on TikTok, and somebody commented, not people that you played with, looking at this video, wondering who they are, and I said, we do have some friends that watch it, but I think anyone that actually watches our content or like listens to the podcast or anything, are on like hell yeah, like a yes or like whatever.
Yeah,
I think
the three that are no's, I know for a fact like 2 of them don't. I mean, at all. One of them maybe, but I doubt it.
Yeah, and I don't even think they would even know.
Yeah, no.
Because it wasn't. Yeah, so
we're pretty good at faking it, even if it's a bad experience in some cases.
And some of these people are very good friends of ours, and they were great experiences, and we definitely would do them again. So, we've made some good friends this year, and
it just went to show that the thing I will say that I learned from it was if you want to play, you have to be assertive. You
gotta make an effort.
Have to make the moves.
Yep.
I mean, out of all those experiences, like, there's always that kind of like flirting and stuff. Like, yes, all of them, there was the flirtings and stuff, but you literally have to be like, let's do this.
Yeah, like, are we going to play?
Yeah.
Set it up, and like, you want it to happen naturally and organically, but like, life doesn't work that way for most people. We're all busy with jobs, kids, whatever. It's like, we've got Saturday at this date, and that's all I got for the next 2 months. So you guys want to play? And yeah, you can get there and it doesn't happen. That's fine. But like, you kind of go, like, we've got some friends that we have played with, and we just, we're talking the other day, and like, odds are if we go to dinner, that's what we're doing. Like,
oh, it's an easy given. And I actually respect them. I think it's the same ones that I'm thinking. They'd hit us up or whatever, and it was just happened to be how they hit us up and when we weren't really we couldn't play. But it was like, I respect them because they're just like, hey, no maintenance at all.
No maintenance.
And we've talked to them a little bit in and out. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you want us to come over and like just fuck? I mean, it's like blunt, and it's like, hey, I respect this.
Yeah, and we would have, but we had kids and some stuff going on, so we couldn't. But yeah,
you have to be assertive.
Yeah, so we completed it. It is a lot of work to make those connections, and especially when you have standards.
That's the big thing too.
That's the other thing.
Is we both had we both had to agree on the experience and stuff. Yeah,
but like we have pretty high standards.
Yeah,
and not because I think I'm some hot shit or whatever, but I don't need this. I don't need the lifestyle to like. I don't know. Like I enjoy the high. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the like dopamine rush and all of that. And like what now that I've dipped my toes in the lifestyle, I like it. But I'm also satisfied sexually, like at home. And so for me, it's not like, oh, I just gotta find someone to find someone, because we could have had more than 12 if I really wanted to.
And that was
like we've turned people down.
And we learned that really in February. Remember where we didn't do anyone, and it was the last day of February. We're like hitting people up.
Oh yeah, because we were like, oh, we gotta do one a month, and then after we realized that no, we don't.
And we're like, you know what? No, I don't have to just.
And we had a couple people hit. I'm like, I don't want to do that just to do it.
No,
like, we turned a few, and not like rudely turned them down. No. We were just like, oh, we're busy.
Yeah, because then it was like that thing of we looked at each other.
Or even like in June. Mm-hmm. There was definitely a couple in June. Yeah, that we could have. It was just like. And we were like, no.
And there's times too, even where you're just not in the mood.
Yeah, I'm very moody when it comes to like lifestyle or sex, and I'm just. And more of that's just like my physical, like if I'm not spending much time in the gym or I'm not feeling good about myself, like it's a no for me.
Yeah.
It's a no for me, dog.
And that's why we don't push on it.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it. So I've had 12 experiences that were mostly great and people that we felt comfortable with, all of that was fun.
I think that's also why we had a lot of good experiences in general. Yeah, because we were picky. Yeah. We made sure we were both hell yes on this.
Yeah. Yeah, but going into 2025, I think my goal is now no expectations. I would like other people to make an effort for me. And I know that's hard with what we do. I think a lot of people just assume we have like all these friends and all these things to do, and people don't typically like put this effort in towards us. I mean, our friends and stuff will, the few. Yeah. But new experiences. So for me, it's just like, if it happens, it happens. I want to spend time with the people, the few people that I really care about and that have become good friends, and I want to spend time with them. And even people that are not we have some lifestyle friends that we don't necessarily play with or we never have, but we really like them as people. I'd like, spend time with them. I think for me, 2025 is more about like friendships and not just.
We got it out of our system.
It could be a little empty. Yeah.
Yeah, you are right.
Because you're like, cool, I had all these experiences, but like, I don't know. Like,
but then the other thing is too, is it's even like you have these experiences, even though they're a hot experience, you're like, you don't want those people to think like, hey, I want to hang out with you again. And you don't want them, like we talked about, it doesn't have to be hooking up. Even though we've already hooked up, and yeah, I'm totally down to hook up again. But I'm also down for the next 3 years or whatever to just go and hang out because you guys are cool.
Yeah. So for me, it's more about friendships. And yeah, occasionally, of course, I do want to have some spicy fun and some hookups. And if it happens, it happens. I'm still going to go to events and still, have fun. But I don't think I'm going to feel like or need to put as like much effort into it. I saw that I can do it.
Yeah, and it was also one of those things, like you and I are very much the same and similar, even though there is no requirements to be a swinger. We always had it where like, oh, we haven't done anyone in like 3 months. Are we really swingers? Or
I think it's safe to say that we're swingers now.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we have nothing more to prove.
I think it's safe to say that we're swingers, yes. And even if we took a break for a couple years. I think it's still safe to say that we are swingers and we enjoy the lifestyle, but we also we enjoy friendships and people that we vibe with, and we don't feel the need to put ourselves in situations that we're not comfortable in. Then
you're hanging out with people you don't even really want to hang out with.
Yeah, there's some clubs and some different situations that I definitely don't feel a desire to put myself into, and I don't need to.
Yeah.
Going to some events and people are like, oh, are you going to this event and this club and all the social media people do that? I'm just like, no, I have no desire, and that's okay. Yeah. I don't need to do that to be somebody, to fulfill myself, or to be a swinger. Mm-hmm. I have a perfectly beautiful life doing what I like to do.
Right.
So anyways, that is our 2024 wrap.
Yeah, we actually did it. We actually did it. That is crazy. I look back and I'm like, dude, I am shocked that we pulled it off.
I know. I'm proud of us.
I am too.
As soon as we hit that last December one, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, but then the weirdest part was, it was like, I looked at you and it was like, fuck yeah, we did this. But then it was like, what the, here's my honest thing. What the fuck was the point of that?
No, I didn't think that too. I didn't think it was like, okay, we did it.
And now what? Like, I'm like, we don't even get a fucking trophy or anything. Like, what the fuck was, but it was like, okay, we did it.
We got to make a podcast.
Yeah.
And some TikToks about it. But would we have done it if we failed? Probably.
Yeah.
But we could have been like, well, we tried, and here's why we didn't.
Here's how we failed.
Yeah.
Because there were a couple of times that we could have shot our shot and we didn't, and it was like,
oh yeah, we could have had more,
but that's the thing, is like, I think it goes to show, like, even trying to do this, we still kept our relationship and our life was
100%.
always the priority still.
It's so fun. Looking back, it sounds horrible, but after a whole year, I'm like, oh my god, I slept with that many people because wait, how many couples? 8 couples.
8 couples.
4 unicorns. So 8 times 16.
20.
So 20. I slept with 20 other people, and
21 people in total.
To you, no part of me feels any less disconnected from you. If anything, I feel more connected to you. No part of me feels more fulfilled than I did before. No part of me, like, it's like, it sounds like a lot, but I'm like, meh.
But it really didn't do anything additional. You know what I mean?
No, didn't do anything. I had some fun, and don't get me wrong. Like, we've had some incredible hot nights because of it, and I don't obviously regret any of it.
No.
But it's not like I'm like. I still feel like we had a very. I still after 20 people feel like we have a very normal monogamous relationship.
No, and we do, because I think a lot of it is just even how we prioritize.
Yeah,
there's
we date each other and our family, and even a lot of family trips.
We're really well about being on the same page, because there's even those times where it was like, hey, we could do, and it was like, no, let's just stay in and do this, you know. And there's the times that we just sat together on the couch because that's what we decided we wanted to do together. So I think it made it a lot more, like, you don't realize how, like, now that you just said that, it just, every month I fuck somebody other than my wife. I mean, I just not dawned on, like,
no, when you put it in that number, you're like, oh,
yeah,
fuck.
like cool, I had sex with somebody else every month.
You have sex with 12 different people.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, and?
Yeah, but I don't.
I'd still rather fuck my wife.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though. The funniest thing is, like, I'm thinking about that, and I'm like,
people ask, oh, could I destroy your relationship? You're like, nope, still rather sleep with my husband.
Like, I'm literally taking a nap today, and I couldn't sleep because I was, like, having these sexual thoughts about you and things I wanted to do, and, like, didn't even dawn on me any of the past experiences that we just experienced.
No, those don't rent space in my brain.
No, they don't. No, you kind of, like, high-five it, and then it's, like, filed away and next.
Yep. Anyways, so thanks for joining us. Thank you for listening to our podcast. For more resources, visit theimpulsiveduo.com and stay tuned for our next episode.